which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, could I have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Alderman Bowman.
Present.
Alderman Bockelman.
Here.
Alderman Reese.
Present.
Alderman Milner. Absent. Alderman Dickerson.
Here.
Alderman Long.
Here.
Alderman Turner.
Here.
Alderman Stafford.
Yep.
And Mayor Hassett.
Here, and we do have a quorum. Tonight, we have the agreement before us for Happy Welch for city administrator. We do have on here, there is the item for the executive session. If we had any questions concerning the contract itself, we would need to go there. Otherwise, we would move on to agenda item A, which is the actual council bill to approve this. So, have yet to receive any questions email-wise on anything. So, if anybody has any questions now, we will need to address.
Mr. Mayor, I probably ought to, but I don't think this is necessary unless there's questions about what it means necessarily, but just to inform the council, under section 12.4B, the word substantial was inserted in front of failure.
Just a wording change then.
Right.
Okay.
12.4B.
It's on page 8.
And what was the change?
The word substantial was inserted in there so that it,
You see where the B is?
Right.
Judy, right in front of that says substantial. That was not there before. It just said failure, so now it says substantial.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's the only thing that would be different than what you had in your email, so.
Were there any recommendations, deletions, additions made on the part of Mr. Welch's attorney?
this was one of the references that was requested. As you saw in your version, the original version had a start date January 1. This one has January 23rd. And so I made some adjustments to the annual salary, for example, in the first year to show that it's adjusted per the start date, that kind of thing. There was a question about civic organizations, which has been resolved to his satisfaction. And he did email me today to say that he's ready to sign this contract as it is in front of you.
Because I noticed in this contract, you had civic organizations in your heading, but there was no allowance in the description for memberships in civic
I may
organizations.
not have updated the table of contents. That could be possible.
So he does have, I haven't looked through this copy, but, so he does have the ability to have membership in one civic organization of his choice?
No.
No, okay.
He does, that is not part of the contract. The discussion, I suppose we can, I don't know that this was, that if he decides that that's something he wants to do, he can bring that separately to the board.
Okay. And the word that you've added under 12.4 of substantial, is there a definition? What does substantial include in your definition?
If we start going to the meanings of things, then we probably ought to go to a closed session. There is no definition, I will tell you, in the document as what substantial means.
You say that was one of the recommendations from his, or changes that his.
There was a request to sort of clarify that, and I suggested that as an alternative, and that was accepted.
Anything further? All right, and we will move on to agenda item A, which is Council Bill 086. Oh, yeah, there you go.
An ordinance of the Board of Aldermen to authorize the mayor to execute an employment agreement for the city administrator for the city of Harrisonville, Missouri. First reading.
All right. Is there further discussion, I would entertain a motion to move Council Bill 086 to second reading.
I make that motion. Second.
I have a motion from Alderman Dickerson, and I have a second from Alderman Turner. Any discussion? We'll need a roll call on that, please.
Yes, sir. Alderman Long.
Aye.
Alderman Stafford.
Aye.
Alderman Dickerson.
Aye.
Alderman Bowman.
I have a statement I'd like to read.
With a vote,
I think at this point in time, Alderman, the only thing it's either yes, no, or abstain.
I can't explain my vote.
I mean, after the fact, I think you could, but I think as far as voting, you,
This vote is just for the second reading.
So I can't alter my vote.
At this point in time, I think you have three choices, to either agree to the motion, say you oppose it, or abstain from the vote.
But I can read my comments after I vote.
After, I think in between, once we decide we're moving forward, I think if you, part of the discussion on the second reading, I think you could explain it at that time.
Okay. Then my vote is no.
Alderman Bockelman.
yes.
Alderman Milner, absent. Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
No.
All right, so now we need a second reading, please.
Second reading, an ordinance of Council Bill 086, an ordinance of the Board of Aldermen to authorize the mayor to execute an employment agreement for the city administrator for the city of Harrisonville, Missouri.
All right. Discussion before we have the roll call after the second reading. Well, there was discussion. Alderman Bowman,
Thank you,
you
Mr.
had
Mayor.
asked prior.
And I'm reading my statement. This is my entire statement regarding the extension of an employment agreement to Eugene Happy Welch as city administrator for the city of Harrisonville. A copy of this statement is being provided to the city clerk or the deputy city clerk on December 19th, 2016, during a special meeting of the Harrisonville Board of Aldermen. I hereby request my statement as it's written be made part of the official record of that meeting. Please allow me to say at the outset that my comments are in no way meant to be personal. If the board approves the extension of this employment agreement tonight, I will commit to make every effort to have a mutually cordial and professional relationship with Mr. Welch. With the recent departure of several long-tenured department heads and employees of our city, not doing so would be detrimental both to the health and well-being of our staff and citizens alike. As a board, we agreed on the qualifications and hiring criteria we were seeking in our next city administrator. Those qualifications and criteria were published on the city's website and other employment links as our city administrator recruitment profile. We only interviewed one candidate. How well did we screen this one candidate? Should we have sought and interviewed additional candidates? Offering a substantial six-figure income, executive level benefits, and the inherent authority to manage our city should have required us to be absolutely certain we have the brightest and the best of the best. Our staff and citizens deserve nothing less. Additionally, city staff and department heads had certain criteria they were seeking in their next leader. Did this candidate meet those expectations? Based on my questions and concerns regarding qualifications and criteria for the position of city administrator not being met, I must vote no on this ordinance to approve the employment contract for Eugene Happy Welch.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion? Alderman Reese.
I have a similar statement. Cheryl, I have a copy of this as well that I will give to you. Thank you. We were given a very specific profile to be used in making our decision on whom to hire for the open city administrator position. The original profile was revised by Mayor Hassett on 9/12/16 and subsequently presented to the Board of Aldermen. I have definite concerns about the profile requirements versus the actual qualifications of this candidate. If the board chooses to hire Mr. Welch, I will accept that decision and work with him in good faith for the betterment of Harrisonville. However, due to the reasons specified above, I cannot, in good conscience, vote yes. My vote is no.
All right. Any further discussion? All right. With no further discussion, we'll need a roll call for the second reading now.
Alderman Dickerson.
Aye.
Alderman Stafford.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Nay.
Alderman Long.
Aye.
Alderman Bowman.
No.
Alderman Milner, absent. Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Bockelman.
Aye.
All right, and Council Bill 086 becomes ordinance 03391. All right, that is it for our agenda tonight. I do want to make a comment, now that the vote is over, that there was more than one candidate interviewed through this whole process. There was not just one candidate that was ever interviewed. When we came to the final selections, we did 2 sets of interviews, and some that made it to the second set of interviews dropped off before they got here for the second set of interviews. Everybody knows this has been going on for well over a year. Mr. Tholen has been gracious enough to continue to fill the role of interim for us, but I know he is ready to retire, and we really need to get somebody in here full-time every day, and this gentleman does have the qualifications. He does run a city similar to Harrisonville, so I look very forward to working with him and the rest of the board going forward, and hopefully we can make some great things happen over the next few years. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn. Second.
A motion from Alderman Dickerson and a second from Alderman Long. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Happy holidays.